Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Kentucky Marine who lost his life overseas is honored in a special way, and an Eastern Kentucky community mourns the loss of a man who gave thousands of hours of his life to help others without asking for anything in return.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's almost 5 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. And let's take it over to Cameron Aaron this morning. Cameron, good morning to you. It's kind of, well, you said it was soupy outside. That's how it felt. Yeah. But you know what it feels like in this studio right now? Just like it feels snowing peaceful outside.
It feels awesome.
You have it so right cold in here.
Dakota, it is warm outside. It's like 5 in the morning. It's like 70 something. It's very toasty outside this morning. But yeah, it does feel like soup if you walk out the door. You know, I don't know if it's chicken noodle soup, Dakota, maybe some vegetable soup. I'm not sure, but it's pretty soupy. Let's go to I-64 in Moorhead this morning. All is quiet over in Rowan County. Maybe a few patches of fog back in the distance, but overall, we are quiet over in that location. And this, Dakota, is why we have the studio chilly, because we are in the middle 70s in spots and places. 73 for Somerset, 74 in Prestonsburg this morning, and 72 for Jackson and Hazard. And check out these dew points, lower 70s. The air is very moist this morning, and that is why it feels so sticky as you walk out the door. We're also looking at a few places with dense fog. 1 mile in Jackson, just more than 2 miles in Harlan, 3 miles over in Jacksboro. So be sure to give yourself plenty of time this morning as you head out the door. Showers, they continue, especially near the Mountain Parkway over portions of Estill and Wolfe counties there. These are not severe, but they are producing some heavy rainfall in spots, and more rainfall is likely through the rest of today. I have your complete forecast coming up in just a little bit. Dakota.
Well, new this morning, police are investigating after a deadly late-night crash in Laurel County. In a post made on Facebook this morning, officials with the London Police Department say the crash happened just before 11 o'clock Monday night on I-75 at the exit 38 overpass. Officials say the crash was caused by a wrong-way driver heading northbound in the southbound lane. The pickup truck hit a vehicle head-on, killing all 3 people inside. The driver of the pickup was taken to a hospital. I-75 southbound traffic is being rerouted on the exit 38 ramp. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more. The family of a fallen Eastern Kentucky hero will now be able to see his name proudly displayed each time they head home. 24-year-old Corporal Jacob Moore of Catlettsburg was killed in a NATO training exercise in March. The young Marine was a graduate of Boyd County High School, and yesterday, in front of a crowd of family, friends, and dignitaries, a highway sign bearing his name was unveiled. Governor Andy Beshear says it's important to remember the sacrifice made by this son of Kentucky.
As governor, but also as a dad of a son, you know, the right thing to do is to be here to pay my respects. And it's first to the family. We think a lot about this amazing young man, and we should, but his family is grieving. They lost a 24-year-old. That is not supposed to happen. But then to also honor the service, the dedication of his life, the amazing way he lived those short 24 years. We're here to do them both.
The sign was installed immediately following the ceremony in an area chosen by Jacob's mom, Michelle. While the Pikeville community is mourning the loss of a man who devoted the last 2 decades to volunteer work. Bobby Sullivan died Friday, leaving behind a host of people to remember the work and wisdom he shared during his almost 58 years. The last 21 of those spent volunteering at Pikeville Medical Center and other community organizations. Sullivan had more than 11,000 hours logged in several areas of work, and those who worked with him say he will be remembered for his dedication.
There wasn't a limit of what Bobby couldn't do or what departments he didn't help in some way. He was just everywhere. Everywhere, everybody knew him.
Monday would have been Bobby's 58th birthday. New numbers released by the state Monday reported nearly 16,000 new COVID cases in the last week. Well, that's up by more than 3,000 cases from the week before. The state also reported 59 more COVID-related deaths. The positivity rate is also up this week to more than 19%. On Monday night's Issues and Answers, WYMT anchor Steve Hensley interviewed Scott Lockard, Public Health Director for the Kentucky River District Health Department, about monkeypox and other health-related issues, including the increased concern regarding COVID-19 and the BA.5 variant. The Kentucky Department for Public Health reports the current overall incidence rate is 37.75, which is up from 33.98% last week. Lockard says the BA.5 variant seems to be less severe and people may not realize they have it.
It really mirrors a bad sinus infection for some people. So we have a lot of people with sinus issues and allergies here in Kentucky, so they may not even realize that they have COVID.
Lockard recommends getting tested even if you think it is a sinus infection. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia has tested positive for COVID-19. He made the announcement on Twitter. In the post, the senator says his symptoms are mild and he is fully vaccinated and boosted. He also says he will isolate and work remotely. It's not clear what effect this could have on Democrats' efforts to make progress on their legislative agenda. The Senate has less than 2 weeks before a month-long recess. Attorney General Daniel Cameron is expected to appeal a judge's ruling to block the state's abortion law from taking effect. A Kentucky judge made the ruling Friday, issuing a temporary injunction against the abortion ban. That means abortions can continue. The judges ruled the court found, quote, substantial likelihood that these laws violate the rights to privacy and self-determination. The Attorney General says he is appealing. He argues Kentucky's Constitution does not protect abortion. Well, drivers, you might rejoice at this news. AAA reports the average price of gas in Kentucky is $4 a gallon, and it's dipped below that in parts of eastern Kentucky. Experts say we will continue to see prices drop, but it could be short-lived due to factors like the weather.
Into hurricane season, and as we know, those things can spring up rather quickly, even though, we usually get forewarning. But in the grand scheme of things, they're hard to predict like right now and say what's going to happen August, September.
Well, another factor that could cause prices to increase later in the year are sanctions placed on Russia. The Commonwealth's second in command will be keeping a leadership role with a national organization. Yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was renominated as a South Region at-large member of the National Lieutenant Governors Association at the organization's annual meeting. She was selected by a bipartisan vote of lieutenant governors across the country. Her service begins immediately and lasts through August 2023. Kentucky Treasurer and Eastern Kentucky native Allison Ball announced she will run for state auditor next year. Ball, who is finishing a second term as state treasurer, says she has delivered on her promise to serve as a watchdog of taxpayer dollars. She says as treasurer, her office returned $142 million in unclaimed property. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. We come back, brutal heat bears down on parts of the U.S. with no signs of letting up. That's just ahead.
And showers and storms continue into your Tuesday. Have your full forecast coming up.